These Arizona Sunset bubble tip anemones were one of the biggest success stories for me in my nano reef. They were colorful, growing, splitting, everything about them was perfect. And seemingly out of nowhere, they started dying. Today I'll show you exactly what's been happening, what I've tested so far, and what I think might be causing it. So I got the Arizona Sunset bubble tip anemone from Fish Guy Mike, of course. New viewers, Fish Guy Mike has a garage system, 1,500 gallons. He's set up in Parsippany, New Jersey. He doesn't ship, but we go way back. I've gotten all my stuff from him. And I got it in the summer of 2024, I believe. And when I put it in the tank, it really seemed to take to the tank. This was the 10-gallon, and I put it in the 10-gallon, and it started to look colorful, and it expanded nicely, and began to split very quickly. It split probably after about 1 month in the tank. I was feeding it daily. By feeding it on a regular basis, it began to split more. The first thing I noticed that started the decline was they began to move away from the top of the tank. The top of the tank was well lit, and they began to move down. It couldn't have been the lighting, because I didn't increase the light from which it had been for the last 6 months or so. Would you guys be concerned if you saw this happening in your tank? Along with moving around the tank more, they began to shrink up also, which made me think, well, maybe it was the light. I did reduce the lighting a small amount, but it was only about 5%, and by reducing that, that wouldn't have made that much of a difference. They were beginning to shrink. They still were receiving food. So you guys know how it is. Now I'm thinking water parameters, temperature swings, lighting changes, which I talked about, flow changes, chemical warfare with the euphilia, recent maintenance issues. Did I change too much water? Was that Phosguard I put in there the problem? Maybe too much of a phosphate decrease. Then I thought just exposing them in the water change, could that have possibly done it? So what I'm going to do from here till the end of the video is explain step by step how I eliminated things and came up with the possible answer. And maybe you guys can think of one too. So we all know that when we try to figure out what's going wrong in our tank, we want to do process of elimination. But we want a process of eliminate one thing at a time with some time in between, 48 hours, sometimes more, to see if what you're changing or what you did could have been the problem. The first thing I tried was I tested my phosphate, and my phosphate was extremely high. But in my mind, I was saying, okay, but it's been extremely high for months and months now. So it can't be the high phosphate. It could very well possibly be that I was trying to lower the phosphate. So what do we do to lower phosphate? The first thing we do is water change, and we hope that we can reduce it that way. And I've had videos on how that doesn't help phosphate that much. If phosphate resides in the sand bed, in the live rock, so when you make a large water change, it will come down a little bit, but not too much. So not thinking clearly as I should have, I did a large water change of about 50%. And number one, it exposed the anemones that were up towards the top to the open air. And my experiences with anemones has not been vast enough to realize that this could be a possibility. Most of your corals, when you do a water change, can be exposed to the open air for 10, 15, or 20 minutes or more. I will add that I did water changes in the past while the anemones were near the top, and I never had any problem with them starting to move after that. So this is what got me a little confused. So things like temperature swings, lighting changes, flow changes, chemical warfare, phosphate and nutrient changes, of those I would have to say very possibly the phosphate and nutrient changes might be one of the other ones that I should investigate, but they are connected to the large water change. So let's see what we can come up with. So looking back, I'd have to say this all started when I made the large water change. I made a 50% water change, and it seemed to do wonders for my euphyllia. I actually put a video out on that. But this was a slow process with the Arizona Sunsets. They were gradually moving down. They didn't just move down overnight. So I thought, okay, I disrupted them a little bit and maybe they're moving. You know, when anemones get uncomfortable, they want to move to a different spot. So mine have been moving around ever since that time and reducing in size, as I said. At this point, I'm still not convinced. However, my observation plan will be to really see if I can save the 3 that I have left. So what can I say, guys? You know, I'm not really even cautiously optimistic right now. I'm a little concerned about what they've been doing, the way they look. One of them seems to be okay. It's still taking food. It's not half as large as it used to be. And I'm hoping that if I observe and do some small things, I can help it to come back. I'm doing very small water changes now, 10% weekly. I've increased the light to where it was about a month ago, but bear in mind, I'm doing that very slowly. I increased the light about 2 or 3% each week. So now I'm back to where I was when I originally started. I'm not going crazy on monitoring my phosphate and nitrate because I don't believe that was it. If it was the phosphate, it's because I lowered it too quickly with the large water change and the PhosGuard. So that could have been insult to the injury, as they say, after the water change. So I really goofed this one up, guys. You know, I learned my lesson. I mean, I've done this for over 30 years, but I never kept anemones that long. And I wasn't thinking at all. I said, okay, large water change to improve my hammer coral. And I didn't even think that I would potentially be goofing up my Arizona Sunset. So let's see if I can get them to come back. All right, guys, so ups and downs in this hobby. You're never gonna go unscathed. You're always gonna face something, whether it's your fault or it just happens. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time, probably next week. Take care, guys.